Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mampolo from Mampolo's Corner. Renew your mindset. Guys, there are lots of people that have advice and messages. Advice and messages to our father in the Lord, our father Baba Tinubu. Yes. There are some prominent men and women in Nigeria that say they get good advice. They get good advice for Tinubu. The number one person when I want present to now the person one I always call Aisha, my Aisha. He say he get message for Tinubu. All right now, watch the video.
People they talk, Tinubu myself they talk. They talk say, oh, people do cool. Tinubu myself one form. He one form big guy, big gun, big guy.
Jesus.
Come on, go sit down. I read entire election. There's no difference between you and those people who do cool. Even as you did there, so if they can't remove you as they remove the person where they need you, the same people for your country, now your country people go job for street, come out, they happy. Because you didn't enter the way you're supposed to enter. You didn't wait for you got yourself to be declared. You didn't wait for the will of the people. It wasn't the will of the people.
Jesus.
It wasn't you that was wanted there. And if we want that democracy where we talk about, we must ensure that the person where people vote for now go enter. They talk to man say they come on, they talk. I mean, Gross, find my place where you go look for one place where you go sit down there. Make people they hear what.
Well, I not too much for this country. So he said people they talk, Tinubu they talk on cool. He said the one when he do Nigeria people not be cool, he do us. Then how cool he enter where he did. Well, I know Aisha. I don't call him Aisha, my Aisha. That's why Aisha. I'm not keep that. Now, talking about this school, there is a very reputable man that have a very strong message for Tinubu. Not be only to Tinubu, to ECOWAS. Very respected, highly respected former general, old time experienced former general. In name na Bode George say, I am sending a straight message to Tinubu and to ECOWAS. For those who never see the message concerning this Niger Wahala. All right now, watch the video.
The Authority of Heads of State and Government of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, will meet tomorrow, Thursday, in Abuja to ponder the way forward following the expiration of the 7-day ultimatum issued to the military junta in Niger Republic on July 30. We'll meet on Thursday, that's the day after tomorrow. The junta, which had enjoyed massive support from thousands of Nigerians since the ouster of the democratically elected President Mohamed Bazoum, also received support from fellow military leaders in Mali and Burkina Faso who paid a solidarity visit to the military leadership in Niamey. The military regime, which declared their Commander General, Abdurrahmane Chiani, the new head of state, have vowed not to bow to outside pressure and warned against foreign intervention, vowing to defend the territorial integrity of Niger. Joining us now to discuss the political estrangement between ECOWAS and Niger Republic and the possibility of not going to war is Chief Bode George, former director at the Nigerian National War College, NWC, now called Nigerian Defense College, former military governor of Ondo State, and a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Good morning, Chief Bode George, and welcome to the morning show.
Very good morning to you. It's always a pleasure to be with you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. I was coaching you on Sunday on another program, This Day Live, and you had told, Nigeria should not go to war, should not be part of the ECOWAS resolution for a military intervention. And I was a bit baffled. This is the first time I will see a retired general, who was also at the National Defense College, scared at the prospect of a military intervention. Why do you not fears about military intervention? Soldiers are supposed to be valiant and to say, let's go there and do it.
Ruben, that's quite interesting. Once beaten, twice shy.
Yes.
You are a doctorate fellow in English. Now, you learn from your experience. We were in ECOMOG.
Yes.
All right. Who was the main country that was responsible militarily the financial support, personnel, of the armed forces.
Yes.
We did extremely so much. What was the benefits to Nigeria?
Not.
In world politics, like you said, I was teaching at the National War College. Before you consider going to war as a nation,
Yes.
you teach your boys the national interests of your country. Anything that falls out of that is not a major concern to you.
Okay.
But if anybody infringes on your national interests, then you can go to war.
All right.
Because you are going there to defend
For a reason.
something so vital to your country.
Your country.
And learning from the ECOMOG experience, and we said to them, how can we now go again to Niger? What is the benefit? What do we have as a benefit going to Niger? So my appeal is that the ECOWAS heads of state should be more careful.
Yes.
Look, Ukraine today versus Russia. Putin thought it would be about a 1 week issue and it will be over.
Walk over.
But we are over a year now. They are still fighting. People are dying. Innocent people are dying.
Grido.
War is not a tea party.
It's a problem.
And it is better to judge rather than war.
That's right.
I'm talking from experience. And I'm talking from the fact that Niger is not the only country in the whole geopolitical belt of the Francophone countries that has a military administration. From Guinea in West Africa to Burkina Faso, from Burkina Faso, Mali, from Mali, Niger, and from Mali, Niger, Chad, and then Sudan. That takes you from the West Atlantic Sea all the way to the Red Sea, right across the whole belt of Africa, in the Sahara. So why Niger? Please, when they meet tomorrow, I am advising that we have enough room to dialogue. And the underlying crisis that is engaging all these Francophone countries today dates back to the colonialism, the French approach
to
their own system of colonialism. While the British had, you are our colonies, the French had the principle of assimilation. In other words, they didn't let go. There is no Francophone country in the whole of Africa that the French government does not have a minimum of a battalion, French battalion, stationed there.
Jesus.
Since we got our independence, have you seen British troops being stationed here?
No.
They are fighting something that is not akin to their own system. They are so disenchanted. Now they know that this link, look, you are as a country, a Francophone country, you don't even have your own currency. You are linked up with the French currency. So where's the economic power? Where's the development? All of them used to head out to France. But the French people are getting tired of all these, even in the French Arabs, they are tired of all of them. They are insulting them. They are no longer playing that game of assimilation. In those days, I'm not too sure about now, the French people and the French government allowed all Francophone countries' heads of state to be members of the French Parliament. Were we ever members in the Anglophone?
No.
Were we ever members of
Britain.
the British Parliament?
No.
But when you divorce, you
Totally.
move, you develop. Look at all the minerals that are there in Niger. How much are they paying? The French. How much are the French people paying the Nigerians? What is the development? The mass land of Niger is bigger than Nigeria.
You mean
but small population. They are still the poorest nation in the world.
Jesus.
Their people are in abject poverty. So whatever we can do in terms of talking is better than to go and send troops there. Now look at our nation. Yes, we haven't gotten to the zenith. We haven't gotten to the Eldorado. We are still battling ourselves. The type of constitution we are running, the ways, look at and listen to that, the discussion about ministers being appointed. Oh, you're not doing it geopolitically. Some zones in the Delta State. Those are non-normal developmental crises, which we must resolve. And Nigeria as a nation, now, have we settled down?
All right.
The economic situation in this country today, people are still blatantly hungry, and they are angry. The insecurity in the land is unmatchable.
It's unbearable.
So why would we now commit? And when they start, they would expect the big brother, Nigeria, to pump so much money. Look at the financial indices of our nation today.
We not get.
The last time we went to ECOWAS, it was much, much better. And we were much more stable economically in this country. So why do we want to commit a lot of funds that you use to develop the people?
All right, Chief
Let
George.
us have a smile on our faces before you can help your friends.
Yes, sir.
Like we say in my local parlance, in other words, even if you get on board the aircraft and there is some kind of a loss of air, and there is a drop of the airbags, the first information, the first announcement is help yourself first
before you help
your
absolutely.
Your
Chief George, let me come in here.
So let's help ourselves first for others. Yes.
Yes, sir. All right. You talk about dialogue, exploring other diplomatic forms of dialogue with the Nigerian. But reports coming in say that the Nigerian are not yet open for conversation. A high-power delegation from ECOWAS, led by General Abdulsalami Abubakar, went to see the Nigerian coupists, and they didn't even deem them the respect of allowing them into the city, citing security reasons. In the event that the Nigerian coupists are unwilling to discuss or open discussions, dialogue with ECOWAS, do you still think they shouldn't attempt military intervention?
Look, Rome wasn't built in a day. Now, these young men who took over government, and I'm now talking from experience, there is nowhere in the world that you have a dictatorship that will last that long without inflicting unimaginable pain on the people.
No.
Today, the people are dancing, they are shouting, they are doing this, they are saying yes, yes, yes. It takes time. They will find a way to reach whoever is the head of state. He himself will soon find out that all that glitters is not gold. So he will find out. And if they think it's like a revolving door that can change in a minute, they are joking. You are heads of your government in various areas. It takes time to settle down. Look at us in Nigeria. We are still waiting for the end of the electoral process. And then you now go, you commit yourselves to war, and let's just imagine, and the courts come back and say no to Bola Tinubu, what happens? It takes a lot of time. Rome wasn't built in a day.
Mba.
Discussion, diplomacy is not like a switch. Yes, the gun can be like a little switch, but discussion will go on. Don't look at them. It's an entity. And ECOWAS itself, by its definition, is an economic community of states. Economy is the number one issue, not military. Look, take Euro, the European Union. That is the economic union for Central Europe. But you have the NATO. Now, not all members of NATO are members of
EU.
the European Union or vice versa. But when we want to talk about the economic, what were the tenets by which they established ECOWAS? It is a cooperation of economic activities, trade links, free movement, sharing of the various advantages. If you have certain products in your own country that are required from some industrial use in my country, let's work together. That is, the essence is to develop the standard of living of the people in West Africa.
Very educated.
But this had been so inhibited because the Francophone countries were still controlled by the French.
Jesus.
And now, if they want their liberty, look, like I said to you, from West Africa, from Guinea, is a military government. Burkina Faso, next to it, military government. Mali, next to it, military government. Niger has joined now, military government. Chad, military government.
Everywhere.
Sudan, all the way to the Red Sea.
Everywhere,
you can see the whole of West Africa. You can see it.
Yeah.
You know, look at it. Every line that is red here
taking over
is all Francophone countries except Sudan, but they are all under military administration.
Jesus.
Something is wrong.
Something is
Let's
happening.
take the discussion from that and find a solution rather than subject all our people to unnecessary war. Look, we were trained to know the consequences. And let's say, is this war, what is Niger to Nigeria? And please remember, from Kebbi State to Sokoto State, to Zamfara State, to Katsina State, to Jigawa, to Yobe and Borno, these people have families on the other side of Niger and Chad.
Yes.
There is a porous border from there. They have relatives, they have family members. So what do you want to do? Let's calm the nerves. Let the man be there. For no matter what, you will discuss with him. Yes, it was unfortunate that they didn't listen to General Abdul Salam because it was too early in the day.
Yes.
Because you made a mention and gave 7 days ultimatum. That was your approach. What do you want them to do? To behave like school children and succumb and say, yes, sir, we accept? No, they won't do that.
Okay.
And you can see their own people.
Okay, sir.
Whether they know, they understand it or not.
Sir.
The taste of a pudding is when they eat it.
Okay, sir.
Government, military administration cannot resolve the problems. It is a stopgap.
Okay, sir.
It cannot resolve the problems of any nation. We have experienced it here.
Okay.
We saw what it did to the military itself. We saw what it did to the nation. Look at the constitution we are running today. Look at our constitution. That is why we are not moving forward. It's not working because it's so military in its status, in its standing, in everything. And we need to revisit those areas. I'm happy, it's not a matter of bringing one military to come and manage government. And the disadvantage in a military administration? People don't realize it. You cut off completely people's participation. there are three arms of government: the judiciary, the executive,
and the
legislative arm. The legislative arm, that is the representation from the people. And if you cut it out, because if you have a military government, the legislature is the first one to be disbanded. So how would the people be governed if there is no representation from them? How do you know what their needs are, what their feelings are? You know, so it is not a serious sense of governance. And people will realize it by time.
Okay.
So I will plead with the heads of state coming. You don't know how it will end when you start it. It is better to judge than war.
No, don't listen to our father. He be like say Rufai won't answer one question, but Baba no give him chance. Baba just the thing they be like say Baba won't share everything once and for all. But I'm still going to bring Rufai now back. We need to hear from the perspective of Rufai. You know, I love Rufai so much. I like as he analyzing things. Rufai, I won't make you put mouth inside this thing. You got advice for Tinubu? He say yes. All right now. Watch the video.
Rufai, this is a developing story, and ECOWAS heads of state to meet on Thursday. Take on this.
Getting interesting. I think ECOWAS heads of states have probably learned their lesson now.
You mean now?
You don't put in war first when you want to make a point. You put in dialogue. You talk. Yes, have they been talking? Yes, they have been talking. Have they tried reaching out? Yes, they have reached out a couple of times. But the question is, do you stop talking because it's not panning out the way you want? No, you don't stop talking, you keep talking.
You keep talking.
And that's what we ought to have done. What probably would have triggered the coupists in Niger was the fact that we had put in part of the recommendations a no-fly zone. And I must repeat for the upton time, a no-fly zone is military aggression, pure and simple. For the sake of those that are watching, that know more than us here, because we don't feel we know anything, I don't know anything, we don't all know anything. If you kindly go and check the meaning of a no-fly zone, you would see that it is a military procedure put in place to be able to control air supply and air concentration of a particular area. The war zone, that's what a no-fly zone is. It's different from shutting the airspace. There's a huge difference. So for us to have talked about a no-fly zone, it meant we're gunning for a military aggression.
Jesus.
Pure and simple. The case of how we'll have maintained the no-fly zone is another talk. Because let's not forget that we even announced a no-fly zone around Zamfara and within our own territory. But was that effective enough? That's a talk for another day. But the coupists are consolidating. They have been able to put in a prime minister now. They had a mass rally where a lot of people supported them and the stadium was full to the brim. In fact, there was even a gory picture of a chicken painted with the French colors and it was slaughtered there.
Jesus.
Very gory. But they have put in a prime minister, Ali Mamad Zen, out there. They have also appointed leaders across the 7-8 regions in Niger.
You mean now?
They are consolidating, while ECOWAS will be having a meeting on the 10th of August in Abuja to be able to review all of this. The way forward will be constant conversation. And like the story reported there, France has decided to shut, its Air France planes to Burkina Faso and Mali. Burkina Faso and Mali is also going to be sending a delegation very soon in solidarity to the Nigerian coupists. And when you see what's happening across board, everybody's taking position, taking sides. In all of this, another power we forget about that is not saying anything is China. China is watching. China has got interest there. Just like Russia is waiting on the fringes. France, still out there. The Americans still have a base out there in Niger. But hopefully, what will be a big decider will be what will happen on the 10th of August in Abuja. Let us wait for that time.
It's all right. Guys, when I don't see the people want send message to Tinubu, then say, make I put down a man Polo's corner. Say you, when they watch me, make you share them to Tinubu and ECOWAS member. make them listen to them, make them see them, make them view them, so that they are able to take better decision. Not be the one go buy you, one be Nigerian. Now maybe they do the video. Not that they do the video because I just want to come here, come show my face. No. I they do them so that you share them, go give them. I beg, leave us where we feel so. Make Niger sort their problem. Like as Ukraine, they sort their own. Everybody they on their own now. So now make me do the video, guys. Guys, if you love what I'm doing here, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. All of my followers, I love guys. Peace out.